Welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you guys are well. In this video, I am starting a new series. This is the first episode of just giving my guitar some love. So in this video, we're just gonna change the electronics. I am gonna do my best to fix the nut on this and try to bring this back to life because it has a grounding issue. So I don't really wanna go over that too much. If you guys care to see that, you guys could watch the guitar collection video, which I'll put up right here on the screen, and just go watch that. I have covered that in that video. But for the most part, I already know there's a grounding issue and I have to attack the bridge. I believe I have to scrape some of this black paint off the bridge so that it is properly grounded. More about that later. Let's get into it. We're gonna start off by putting a treble bleed circuit. It goes in between these two lugs on the volume pot. As you can see in this, it is all completed. We're gonna knock off two birds with one stone by using this wire that comes from the capacitor. The wire is super long and we can use it to ground off the pot on the other side. And then we're just gonna readjust, make sure that you got this connected before cutting. Once that's cut, then we're gonna solder the capacitor to the pot, and as you can see, we are all done. All right, we're gonna put two wires in the first lug of the volume pot. One of these will go across the side to the other pot. The other one will go directly to the switch. Before putting the wire where I want it to be, I'm gonna put this shrink wrap because I want it to be very clean, not be able to touch any of the existing pickup wires. And I am completely just gonna be doing a loop. This is considered a nightmare for technicians. They do not like loops. I do not plan on taking this apart, so I am just gonna be a little overly cautious. Now I'm using this torch to heat up the shrink wrap. I highly recommend getting one of these. If you do not have one, you can use just a lighter. Now we're gonna solder in this wire, and this is gonna go to the output jack. And now we're gonna put in the ground. I will definitely show you up close and personal on a switch. We're soldering each side of the ground wire to make sure that it is properly grounded. Now we're just throwing in the ground wire across each one of the pots. It is very important, very, very necessary. Now we're gonna start just taking this thing apart. I'm gonna cut off all the strings. I'm gonna remove the neck. Just take everything out and all the electronics. Once that's complete, then I'm just gonna remove the plate. I'm trying to figure out what the wire is for the neck pickup because I have not properly labeled them in the cavity. Once I got that figured out, I desoldered the old harness. I pulled that out. I have wired it up and set it in there, and I did not film it, and I am truly sorry that it just didn't film. Scraping away the paint from the bridge definitely is a plus. It will help with the grounding issue. It will be properly grounded. As I start putting this stuff back together, putting all the back plates, before we get there, we're gonna start removing the nut. I'm gonna use this knife to score the surface. And this thing was kind of a pain to pull out, but luckily, eventually I did end up getting it out. As you see there, it just was really in there. I use wood glue. I am not a professional guitar maker, so I am just a hobbyist. I do not really do this. I usually just send it to someone. Spoiler alert, it didn't really turn out the way that I wanted it to. I'm not gonna lie. I probably will eventually send this to a technician, but it is a little bit better. So that definitely was the goal. We got it in there. It's a little bit seated, a little bit more than it was. Now these strings are the ones that I normally use, but I completely ran out. So we're gonna use the Steinbach dear old high voltage 10 to 46 strings. What I'm doing right now is I am putting 2 strings on in between the nut, the 6 and the 1st string, just to hold the nut in place. This is important because when you put the nut on there with the glue and you tighten the strings, it'll definitely seat the nut in the proper position. Now we're just gonna continue to just set this up and get it all stringed up and intonated. All right, the moment of truth. Did I set up the guitar right? We'll see in just a second. I have some pedals, I brought them out. You're gonna get the unprocessed audio on your end. I have it mic'd up with the SM57 and a Lewitt 240 Pro. I think that sounds the best overall. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It was really fun to bring this thing back to life. I have it intonated. I have set it up in standard C. Let's get into it. All right, we're just gonna start with the bridge. The neck. Both of them. And then the tone. Does the tone knob work? Yeah. Sounds darker. I usually like it like at 7 o'clock. All right, let's get into some pedals here. Let's use the Rat. Sounds good. I pretty much like the bridge though. Yeah, before I had like hella feedback. overall, I think it's really good. I fixed it. Really, really excited, and I'm really, really happy about myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am so happy that I got this done. I've taken care of this. Now I can use this on the channel. The strings, the dieback strings, even though they're 10 to 46, they sound brighter to me. Let me know your thoughts on that. Maybe I should make a test string video on what is the best down tuning string out there. Like, that would be iconic. I've seen other videos where they just do standard tuning and then they went through all the strings, but I've never seen one where they just took all the strings from all kinds of different brands and then figured out what the best down tuning strings are. I generally like using 10 to 46, and I use the DR down tuning strings, and they work perfectly, and they're not that bright. They just sound beautiful, but they don't last as long. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing, liking the videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.